me give you the example of what I'm working on this week. So this gentleman, he's a student, actually. He set up his own fund. So he was doing deals, and then he said that he sold this package of properties and carried $1,853,000. All right? So he carried $1,853,000. We were working the numbers yesterday. He said, Cherif, I need to cash out. You love notes. I've heard you on the calls. I would like to discount the notes and sell them to you. But please don't negotiate too much. I'm on to you because I learned from you, so you can't go be too creative with me. I said, okay, that's the disadvantage of explaining things, but it's fine, tell me. He said, I want $1.5 million. I need it because I'm gonna pay off a couple buildings and I'm buying this other building at a great deal. So would you take $1,853,000 secured against all these properties? Plus this group of people have their contractors, have also 4 properties free and clear. So you have huge safety margin if you need to foreclose, but they have paid on time, and I'll show you for the last 14 months, they have never missed a payment. And they're paying $150,000 a year. By the way, $150,000 divided by 12 is $12,500. That's what they're paying per month now. And they're paying the property tax, insurance. They actually remodel the properties because they're contractors. So they have to exercise their option on February 28, 2025. So I will buy it. If I buy this, I'll pay $1.5 million and receive $150,000. If you pay $1.5 million and receive $150,000, that's 10%. That's 10%. My fund pays 6 and 8%. Let's say I'm gonna buy the note. I'll take $1.5 million. I don't have the $1.5 million, but I have investors that want to give me $1.5 million. Let's say that's the scenario. That's how you're gonna make money with other people's money, and that you're gonna pay them and pay yourself. And you get $1.5 million from a bunch of people. And you buy the note. You close on Monday. On Tuesday, you start getting income into your fund. You're gonna get that income, and you're gonna pay the investors 8%. So you have an extra 2% sitting. Keep it. It's your reserve in the fund. And now at the end of the year, you're gonna get $1,853,000. Well, if you paid $1.5 million and you get $1,853,000, so you're getting, let's do the calculation, $1,853,000 minus $1.5 million, you're gonna get $353,000. The year has 365 days. It's like you got paid. So they're gonna pay you $1,853,000. Let's say you want to cash out the investors. You just cash them out. If you want to cash them out, give them back $1.5 million. They've been getting paid 10% a year. You gave them $150,000. They're very happy. Let's say you gave them 10%. You just did what we have a section called special class of shares. You can pay people more because you wanted to raise the money right away. You offered them, instead of 6 and 8, you gave them 10. So you gave them all the money you received. But you walked away with how much? $353,000. You made $1,000 a day just setting up a fund. But you learned how to present that to the investors. Hi, when you invest with me, I'm a debt fund. I will pay you X. This is what we do. We buy notes. We look at properties to rehab. We look for deals to joint venture. I do joint ventures with Cherif Medawar. Let's get him on a Zoom call. You see, if you set up with me, I can show you how that stuff works. And the more I show you, the more you recognize new stuff, because we don't know all what's out there. You show me a deal, I'll show you a way to do it. So it's how much effort versus the hassle. For example, this deal, I just need to interview the lady that's handling all the bookkeeping, because I have no interest in looking at all these payments and see if they paid all the property taxes on all the properties, if all the insurance is accurate. I need somebody. That's why I say you're gonna get 10%, you pay the investors 8. You keep 2% reserve for any cost. Any cost. You're gonna pay the bookkeeper, you need some reserves. And at the end, when you make 300 whatever, how can I reduce taxes legally so I can sleep at night? And when you do a couple deals like this, and that's just on $1.5 million. What if you bought a property for $1.5 million and then you borrowed from the bank a credit line to rehab it? So you spend another $1 million rehabbing it, and now you're $2.5 million in it, but you sell it for $3.5 million. Now what happens is you have $1 million profit, you have to pay the investors, you have to pay some taxes, and maybe you have $500,000 profit. But this takes more effort than that. return on effort, time, and money. When the money's not yours and you have some people doing the effort and expertise and you're just the maestro because you're a fund manager, that's when you can sit in places like Cancun, Los Angeles, Puerto Rico, and reduce your taxes, help the markets, help the investors, and keep growing by actually being good in your judgment calls on what to invest and where. That's how you can make money while benefiting others. And the pie gets bigger as more people want to invest with you, and then you grow organically and you keep your sanity. And that's why everybody has certain capacity. I had a question. I was doing training with somebody on the fund. He's setting up the fund. And like 2 hours into my training, we're sitting in Puerto Rico. This is 2 weeks ago. And he leans forward and he says, Cherif, if I didn't see all your buildings here and I toured them, if I didn't see what you do, I've known you for years, I would doubt, because you seem like you can go to $1 billion. Why don't you go for $1 billion? I said, you know what? I'm very happy with the total assets, 150 million or 165 million. But then I started thinking, why not? I have the structure. But I know that at 1 million, you have certain problems and challenges to solve. At 10 million, you have bigger ones. At 100, you have bigger ones. And at $1 billion, you'll have people coming out of the woodwork, not to have conversations, but to sue. And, you have to know your capacity. How big do you want to go? I suggest for you, test the 10 million range first. And then as you grow your spirit, you can handle more and more and more.